The Bleacher Report app is your destination for sports. Right now, the NBA's heating up, March Madness is here, and MLB is almost back. Every day there's a new headline, a new highlight, a new moment you've got to see for yourself. That's why I stay locked in with the Bleacher Report app. For me, it's about staying connected to my sports. I can follow the teams I care about, get real-time scores, breaking news, and highlights all in one place. Download the Bleacher Report app today so you never miss a moment.
Let's be completely honest. Are you happy with your job? The fact is, a huge number of people can't say yes to that. Too many of us are stuck in a job we've outgrown or one we never really wanted in the first place. But we stick it out and we give reasons like, what if the next move is worse? And I've put years into this place. And maybe the most common one, isn't everyone miserable at work? But there's a difference between reasons for staying and excuses for not leaving. It's time to get unstuck. It's time for Strawberry.me. They match you with a certified career coach who helps you get from where you are to where you want to be, either at your existing job or by helping you find a new one. Your coach helps clarify your goals, creates a plan, and keeps you accountable along the way. Go to strawberry.me/career and get 50% off your first coaching session. That's strawberry.me/career.
Hello, welcome back to the Psych Legal Pop Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. I'm Brooke Brigham, I'm the attorney.
And I'm Tess Brigham, I'm the therapist.
And we are continuing our Sister Wives Rewind. We are currently on Season 6, Episode 16. This is The Browns in Crisis.
Yes, and it was a crisis.
It was a crisis.
It really was. Oh my gosh.
So if you recall from the last podcast of Sister Wives Rewind, episode 15, the wives went to San Francisco for 4 days and came back to truly being extremely ill. And I'm not quite sure how many days she had been like that. It kind of seems like almost the whole time they were gone.
Yeah, I mean, they were gone 4 days. I feel like it sort of happened day 2.
Yeah, they said it started when they were bowling that day.
Mm-hmm.
So
that must have been day 2 or 3 of the trip.
2 or 3, yeah. Truly started just being extremely lethargic and not herself at all because, she's normally very active and animated, and she's literally just kind of sitting in the corner, not talking, just looking very unwell. So as soon as Christine got home, they took Truly to the doctor, and the doctor said that she just has the flu. So put a pin in that.
Yes.
Put a pin in that. Because next, the adults have to go get flowers, pick out flowers for the commitment ceremony.
God, this goddamn commitment ceremony.
Yeah, and it's not a wedding. It's not a vow renewal.
Oh, God, no.
But we're going to have, wedding-like flowers. So, okay. And then they go to pick out a cake. But it's not a wedding.
Not a wedding, no.
Not a wedding. So they go to this place. It's called Give Me Some Sugar, or Gimme, Gimme, Give Me Some Sugar. And Cody has this idea. He wants to have a tree cake.
Yeah.
And, because this is sort of their theme, they're planting a tree. This is their family planting planting down roots. And, the tree is like all the different branches of the family, blah, blah, blah. And so I thought he said that this needed to be a cake for like 500 people.
Oh my God. I missed that. God, 500 people.
Or at least several hundred people.
Mm-hmm.
And then he wants it to be, 3-dimensional. He says like about 3 feet high. So she starts sketching out, what it would take to make this cake and construct it. And she quotes him a price of $8,500.
Mm-hmm. Which actually isn't insane, I will say. I mean, I remember a million years ago when Max was 2, he had his train birthday party. Remember, we were out at the train, the little train.
Tilden Park.
Yeah. And I wanted to do a cake that would be like in a shape of a train. And I remember and that would be for 30 people or nothing. And it was, I remember it was going to cost like $1,200 or something. It was going to cost a lot. And that was umpteen years ago before this. So that's the thing. It's like, it's complicated.
Wedding cakes are very expensive just in general.
Yeah. Wedding cakes are expensive, but, that's really high, but I think it's because it's so intricate. Yeah. I don't know how much that, Cake Boss or whatever from New Jersey, that guy, I don't know how much, I don't watch that show. So I don't know how much those cakes run for, but they're expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. So then they realize they have to downsize.
Yes. So do you think that TLC said, we're willing to let you, we'll contribute this amount of money? Or do you think they paid for the whole thing? Or they must have had a budget?
I think they had a budget. I think they paid for some of it. And that's why when the Browns hear these prices, for the venue or the cake or this or that, they're just like, oh, no, we can't make up the difference of that.
Yeah. Because no, they can't, because they're paying all these mortgages. I mean,
they don't have that kind of money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Leon's last day at home. And is it also their birthday? It's like a birthday / going away party.
Yeah, I don't know whose
birthday it is. Maybe Leon's
birthday, but they're celebrating.
They're celebrating. Yeah, that it's her last day at home. And so Cody is going to buy her a car before she leaves. And so they go to do that. And I don't know, if they're asking people, Logan is there. And they're kind of going around asking people about Leon leaving. And Logan says, is Leon ready to leave? I have that written down. Because, again, the codependency with Leon and Mary. Anyway, so Christina is taking Truly to the doctor. She's very lethargic. She's been lethargic for 5 days. And she still has no fever, but then all of a sudden she went cross-eyed. And
which I guess is a big indicator.
Yeah, that's a big, and I've never seen that happen, but I would imagine it'd be very alarming. And I guess Christine knew that was bad. And so she called the doctor back. And again, Truly is catatonic.
Yeah.
And the pediatrician says, you need to go to the ER.
Yeah.
And they actually interview the pediatrician, and he says it could be a lot of, when that happens, when you go cross-eyed, it could be a brain tumor, it could be kidney failure, meningitis.
Oh God.
So Cody is actually napping.
Yes.
Robin, because he's tired from his morning of car shopping.
Yes. Yeah. He was laying, but it was weird. He wasn't like napping, like with his head on the pillow. He was like sprawled across the bed. And I think he was just looking at his phone, because when he saw Robin come in with the camera crew, he's like, oh, God, what?
Like, leave me alone. Yeah, he's at Robin's. See what he gets back from car shopping with Mary and Leon. And even though it's Leon's last day here, does he go
to Mary's?
To Mary's house to be with Leon? No, he goes to Robin's house.
And to say, Mary, how are you doing with all of this? This must be hard.
This must be hard. It's a big day, No. Straight over to Robin's. And so Christine says she's, starting to get extremely worried about, is her daughter going to live? And, so she and Cody go to the hospital. And then in the middle of Leon's party, Cody calls and says that basically the diagnosis is kidney failure. And, they're going to be gone at least another hour and a half. Which seems optimistic, but because, he's trying to get back for this party, and I don't think anyone expects him to come back. I mean, everybody seems very extremely concerned. And I don't think that Mary or Leon were, upset by this, like that Cody couldn't come to the party or whatever. But I guess he does come back, and he gives a report, says that Truly's kidneys are completely shut down. There's no fluid, she's not eliminating, she has no fluid in her body. She's not eliminating anything. And she's in acute kidney failure.
Mm-hmm.
And, so yeah, Logan and Aspen are basically there holding down the family together, and they get together and to do like a group prayer for Truly, and, Aspen tries to lead the prayer and she just breaks down crying.
Yeah. Oh God. And that was heartbreaking. Really heartbreaking. And that's the thing that drives me crazy. Like in that moment, Cody, this is your daughter. She's breaking down. She can't, right? Like not for 1 second did that man think like, wow, Aspen might be feeling guilty, or Aspen might be feeling this or that, or, oh, this must be really any of that. It's almost like, well, let's keep finishing these prayers.
Right. I think he's only thinking about himself.
Yeah, of course.
Well, and here's the problem I have. Okay. This is why I feel that Cody is complicit in this. So, all the wives leaving was a big deal. They said it had never happened before. Now, mind you, Robin has Mindy, her, nanny / niece living with her. So Robin's kids have an adult with them all the time. Cody, of course, is flitting around everywhere. Janelle's kids are older. Logan is there.
But Savannah's not that old.
No.
And Gabe, yeah.
Right. But she's got older kids, and I believe Logan was there the whole time. Maybe not. I don't know.
I know. I remember seeing Logan in a few moments. Like he definitely told the producers, please don't talk to me, because he's never on the couch anymore. It's like, he's done. He's out.
But, and Aspen, even though she's 18, Aspen doesn't have the authority to take Truly to the doctor. Only Cody or Christine can do that. She's telling Cody, she's really sick, and he's just kind of like, well, she doesn't have a fever. Like that means anything. She's catatonic. She's like, not eating, not drinking. She has to be held all the time. She's obviously very uncomfortable. And Aspen and Cody keeps downplaying it. And Aspen keeps saying, no, she's real. And she's trying to get her point across that this is really serious, but it's like, she's just a child. She doesn't have any authority to override Cody. If she did, she probably would have taken Truly to the doctor that first night. Yeah.
Well, and yeah, I mean, you're right. This is the position they've put Aspen in, which is you're a child. So we're not going to, you're the oldest daughter. So here's all this responsibility, care for this human life. But at the same time, when you say something to me, I'm not going to listen to it or believe it. It's like, it's like being the president of a company where you have no power to make any decisions.
Right. And then when something bad does happen,
it's all your fault.
Yeah. So they put her in a horrible position, and I kind of I don't know. I wonder if Christine was really comfortable with this thing, or she felt pressured like she had to go on this trip because it was just a trip for production. Nobody wanted to go.
Well, I think Christine probably was like, okay, this is my job. Like, this is my job now, and this is what I have to do. And I'm sure she went. I don't think they were thrilled about it, but I don't think she expected something awful to happen. But what I don't understand is they did talk to a doctor, and a doctor did say she doesn't have a fever, and they were dismissive because they did get some advice first. And then it wasn't until Christine got back and went to the doctors, and because she went cross-eyed, and they sent her to the emergency room.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this was a doctor's, like a over the phone kind of thing, if they actually took her in, if, they actually observed her and did any kind of tests on her. And I don't know. They just said they took her to the doctor. That could mean a million different things.
Yeah. Well, because, am I remembering this right? That there was a moment where they consulted with the doctor, and the doctor said, oh, it's, she doesn't have a fever. So
But I thought they said the doctor said that even though she doesn't have a fever, she has the flu.
Yes. Okay.
Which could be true, but maybe they weren't really imparting enough information to the doctor.
Mhm.
Like, look, she's been extremely lethargic. Even if you have the flu, you know, the flu can quickly get out of hand if it's not treated properly.
Yes, we've all learned that one.
Yeah. So maybe they didn't really impart how lethargic she was. I don't know. All I know is like dehydration is serious. I've seen my daughter pass out many times from dehydration after being sick.
Yeah.
Having the flu, throwing up, that kind of thing. She's very sensitive and like I always have to keep Gatorade in the house all the time because, she gets very dehydrated very easily and I've seen her pass out from it.
Yeah. The other thing that I think is weird, because when they kept saying like, oh, it's the doctor saying it's the flu, it's this, you know how it is when you call the advice nurse to get some help. When it comes to kids, they don't mess around. For us, they'd be like, well, okay, do this, that.
Fine.
But anytime I've called on behalf of my son, it's always been if you do this and nothing changes in 12 hours, 24 hours, come now.
Come in.
Or as it's happened, they've said, oh, come in right now. And they will absolutely go to the emergency room. They will wave you right through. They prioritize all of that. And they have that good pediatrician that they all trust. So there is something a little off about this.
Yeah,
right?
I know. I don't know. It's
a mystery.
It's like, Cody didn't take it very seriously. Maybe the doctor didn't take it very seriously.
Or maybe the way he was communicating with the doctor.
True.
Yeah.
He could have just said, well, I think she just has the flu. She doesn't have a fever. She's a little bit tired, whatever. Obviously, she's not drinking anything,
Well, because I think that if Cody was really casual with the doctor and the doctor, but I do believe, I have to believe that doctor, whomever he talked to, said, if something doesn't change within a certain period of time, come in. Right. And I wonder if that's the thing that Cody didn't take seriously. Do you know what I mean?
Didn't come back. He just thought it would just go away. He'd wake up the next day and it'd go away, or we'll go away tomorrow. Also, too, I wonder how much time he was really around.
Yeah, truly. Yeah.
Really.
Because we don't know that. We have no idea. It's like, really, technically, he should have been staying, and they should have rearranged the kids and had all the younger kids stay in the house with Cody or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and Aspen is calling Christine in San Francisco saying Truly is really sick. Like Aspen is trying to get some help because Cody is ignoring her. And obviously she thinks it's serious enough to, be calling Christine, and Christine's very anxious to get home and all this. I think it was complete negligence on Cody's part. I'm sorry. I just do. Well,
he's lucky Truly lived.
He is. Yeah. He is lucky. And that would have ruined Aspen's life.
Yes. You would have destroyed her life.
That's the thing about leaving. I remember having this discussion because, when kids get to be a certain age and it's like, okay, well, is it okay to leave, two 12-year-olds with a 16-year-old, to like brothers, older siblings, and, with my daughter's friends and, like the moms, and we would talk about it. And ultimately we kind of always decided it's not worth it. Because if something happens to one of these girls, it's going to ruin the 16-year-old's life for the rest of their life. Yeah. And you don't put that on kids.
Yeah.
You just don't. And that was the crime here, was that they put Aspen in that position. And that no one took Truly's illness seriously, except for Aspen and McKelty. And I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Cody comes over to Mary's house. He's very stressed. He explains that Truly got the flu and then got so dehydrated that her kidneys started to shut down. And they have to give her fluids in the hospital and wait for her kidneys to start working. And they are waiting to see if they have to start dialysis.
Oh,
and
God.
And he says, he basically can't go with her to take Leon to Westminster. And they seem okay with that,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was a little nervous because I had forgotten what Leon's reaction was. But I was like, okay.
They understood.
Yeah, they understood. And of course, I mean, what else? What else are you going to do?
Yeah. So Christine's going to spend the night with Truly in the hospital. And then the next day when Leon is getting ready to leave, they say they're not taking any of their room decorations because Mary wants to keep the room looking pretty much the same.
Okay.
That's a little strange.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand wanting to keep it together for them for the first year or so. They feel like they have a home to return to. But usually by sophomore, junior year, you're not going home for the summer, right? Like you're kind of doing other things.
Yeah, but I mean, it kind of made it sound like she wanted to keep the room like intact as it was so Mary could go in there and, cry.
Pretend. Pretend Leon's there.
Or sit on Leon's bed and cry. I don't know.
Smell their smell.
Smell the sheets.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, gosh. Psych Legal Pop will be back after these messages. Hello, this is Tess Brigham, one half of the podcast Psych Legal Pop. When I'm not podcasting with my sister and analyzing pop culture, I'm a speaker who talks about mental health in the workplace. In today's post-pandemic hybrid working world, mental health matters more than ever. I specialize in empowering organizations to retain their valuable employees. I understand the unique challenges facing young adults in today's world, and I'm here to bridge the gap. So head over to my website, www.tessbrigham.com, to learn more about my speaking services and how I can help your organization reach new heights of success. Let's revolutionize your organization's approach to mental health and employee retention. Visit www.tessbrigham.com to explore how we can collaborate.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.
Okay, so we get a report from Christine that the medication that they've given Truly is not working. She's not urinating at all. So they start this abdominal dialysis.
Which sounds awful.
And,
I mean, she must have been poked and prodded by needles.
Oh, yeah. Well,
constantly.
they show her pictures of her in this big old hospital bed, all these tubes and, needles, and, whatever is in her. And she just looks so bad.
Yeah.
And Aspen, of course, still is at home holding down the fort. She's
because Christine can't be there, right? Yeah. So now she's the mother again.
Now she's the mother again of all the other kids and taking care of everything. I mean, gosh, she never gets a break. When is her going away party? When is she going to college?
Well, she was happy. She's excited to go, just like Logan, just like all these other people. They cannot wait to go. And I maintain, I think it's very, very telling that neither Logan nor Aspen have children. Very telling. And especially, right, people have kids at all different ages. It doesn't mean they're not going to, but unlike their siblings, they needed a very long time of just being on their own and doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Good for them. Yeah.
All that responsibility.
Yeah.
So, the dialysis is not working, and Christine says that Truly seems to be giving up hope.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Poor kid. And then Cody talks about how he tells Truly that they're going to have a pee poo poo potty party.
This whole thing.
I know. And he says Truly seemed to respond to that. Like he's giving her a challenge. Like if you'll just go pee, we'll have a party. It's like, Cody, it doesn't work that way.
Well, and he's like, so I need for her brain to speak and motivate itself to start peeing. So as if this whole time Truly has been like, I'm holding it in. I'm holding it in and say, oh, party. But he paints himself as the hero. Like, I fixed this. Like all these doctors and all these people that have been working nonstop with these medical degrees don't know what I know, which is like all a kid needs is to know they're going to have a party.
Yeah, it was my inspirational word.
Yes. Yes.
that healed her.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's like,
God.
oh, thank God for you. Yeah.
So then, the doctor's saying she's going to be in the hospital for at least 10 more days. She's already been there several days. They double the dose of her meds, and she's getting 24-hour dialysis.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. And then I started thinking, I hope they have insurance.
Yes.
Or
Oh gosh. Yeah.
even if they have insurance, it's not necessarily going to cover all of this. And, the Browns are notorious for not having insurance for
Mm-hmm.
their children because it's not affordable and it's, remember when Isabel had her back surgery, Christine had to GoFundMe,
Yeah.
because she got this insurance, but of course it's crappy insurance that doesn't cover everything. The hospital wanted like a $60,000 down
Wow.
for the surgery, upfront copay type thing. And she had to GoFundMe to raise it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I really wonder about that. But anyway, so on day 9, the dialysis starts to work and her numbers are getting better. And then finally, Truly is able to come home, and she's so happy.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, this is probably the most time Christine and Cody have ever spent together
Yeah. I'm sure.
over this. They show Aspen came to the hospital to I think bring Truly home. I mean, very, 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 very scary.
Yeah.
And and I'm looking at her, and she, doesn't look good, doesn't look the same, doesn't look, like herself.
Truly.
Yeah. And her teeth looked really strange, like they had maybe been damaged by all of this. And people make fun of Truly and her transition lenses and stuff, but I think she suffered vision impairment as a result of the kidney failure, because that is one of the side effects of kidney disease is loss of vision.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she wears them because her vision is probably, her eyes are probably very sensitive, so she has to keep the, when she goes out in the sun, she needs the transitions and whatever. I'm sure she has a lot of damage to her body because of that. If you're in kidney failure for over 10 days, that's ravaging your body.
Yeah. So she ended up being in the hospital for what, 2 weeks?
About 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks. And so, one of the weeks, or maybe the week and a half, it was touch and go. Right?
Oh yeah. It was touch and go for most of it.
Because I think that and we'll see it more in the next episode, which is also hard, a tough one to watch. But I think that, when people are going through these really difficult times, your child is sick and she may die. I think you get into such a survival mode of what do I need to do in the next hour for my kid?
Right.
What do I need to do now? What's happening now? You're just surviving. And you can see in these these episodes after this, Christine recovering, she kind of is starting to go oh my God, she almost died. This almost happened. This is what my life would have been. This is, I think it's interesting to see Christine starting to process and what's happening with her. Of course, Cody just keeps moving.
No, he just moves on with life. And I'm sure that in the back of Christine's mind, all these years has been that thought that Cody could not even be trusted to take care of her child, and the child almost died.
Yes. And he put my other daughter, other daughter, in a real crappy position. I mean, I'm sure Christine, of course, because she's a mom and we all feel this, she feels mom guilt. I should have never left. What am I doing? Why did I leave? But the thing is that Christine, all mothers, Christine included, right, all deserve to be able to have time away, to do things, to do fun things, to relax and recharge and all of this. And the fact that you can't leave your child with your partner or your spouse I agree with you. I think that truly we all know that Christine was already in a tough spot. She already was feeling sad. what are we? Because if Leon's leaving, it's probably August.
Mm-hmm.
So we're now in the houses 8 months. The mission statement and all of that is looming. At least we didn't have to hear about the mission statement in this episode. But the mission statement is happening in the commitment ceremony. But she's definitely in a rough, sad spot at this point, like feeling really disconnected from him. And I'm sure, like, as the days and weeks after started processing everything and really listening to it and really thinking about it, that she sort of was like, wow, what the hell happened?
Yeah, how did that happen?
Because I bet you anything, Aspen went to her and said, I told Dad this, I told Dad that, I said this, I said that. Like, what? Because I'm sure Christine asked her, like, what happened? Like, retrace your steps.
Right.
What happened?
Like, how did we get here?
Yeah, and I'm sure. Yeah, I think it was just not another, but a huge. It's almost like if you think about, what is that expression? Chink in the armor? Or what is that? It's almost like it's almost like it took out a huge, big slab of it.
Yeah.
That was such a big one. And then Isabel was the nail in the coffin.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Now 2 of her children have been, medically neglected. I mean, I would love to know, what was said? What was said between Aspen and Cody, between Christine and Cody on the phone when Christine's what are they all telling each other?
Yeah,
it's like a real that's what you don't mess around with kids, and
you don't,
and that's the thing. Aspen knows truly like her own child, and I'm sure she wanted to, but she wanted something. She wanted help for Truly. But like I said, she's not the mother. She can't just show up with Truly at the emergency room.
Yeah. She couldn't take Truly to the emergency room, even if she wanted to, even if she decided to defy everyone.
Yeah, she's not the mother.
Right. She can't. Parent. Well, and the other thing too is, I don't know, have we ever seen Aspen cry before? I've never seen her cry. I've never seen her have a low moment. She's always very peppy. I've never even seen her angry ever. And her breaking down during that prayer, got it like as a gut punch of, oh my God. I mean, just how awful she feels. Truly, truly awful.
And I don't think Cody even comforted her.
No, he kept going with the prayer, and I think it was the other kids, whoever was next to her, comforted her. And said something to her. He did nothing. Like, he just, okay, let's keep praying. Now I got to go back to the hospital, and now I got to, whatever it is, I'm
got to go back
losing precious time with Robin, or whatever it is that he's thinking about. And again, it keeps coming back to the same issue that we've talked about over and over again of, nobody cares about you having 4 wives. No one cares about the plural marriage piece. The problem that people have is that it's situations like this. Like, this should not have happened.
Yeah.
And if you didn't have all these kids that you were watching, if you weren't so disconnected, if Aspen wasn't constantly put in charge, then this would have looked very different.
Yeah. Well, they did have the princess tea party.
Oh, yeah. Cody's big pee and poop thing. If you pee and poop. And of course, Truly, so motivated by that. But okay.
Yeah. That made all the difference. So, yeah, she's so cute. She's like, I'm so happy to be home and not be in the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Christine talks about how, she can't take anything for granted.
No.
And she thanks the other moms. For what? I don't know. She should be thanking Aspen.
Yeah. Well, maybe the other moms did step in and help
once they got back.
Aspen, and once they got back and did what they needed to do. I'm sure. I'm sure everyone did. That's the other thing too, is if they weren't in a plural marriage, then what would Christine and Cody do if they had 5 other kids at home?
Right.
How would they do all of that kind of stuff?
Well, yeah, then you have to depend on, friends to...
And family has to come in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure being in this plural family in that moment in time, that is helpful.
That was helpful.
But
it doesn't.
People also have families, so other families to ask.
Does it take a crisis like this for
plural marriage to be worthwhile?
Yeah, for plural marriage to work, or to have some benefit. Like finally, someone else is watching Christine's kids for her.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is that people always come back to this idea of, see, this is why Sister Wives, this is why this works. And it's like, well, hold on a second. Let's back up for a second. Like, if it was just Christine and Cody, they wouldn't have had to flee Utah, quote unquote. They would still be back in Utah, and they could have called a family member. Annie could have come over, or like someone could have come over. It's like, no, having sister wives, is nice to help you with your kids and some of these other pieces. But at the same time, right, like, because of the circumstances of being a plural family and feeling isolated and all the other things that happen, it creates this situation where, I guess you're isolated and the sister wives are the only people you can depend on. Yeah.
Anyway. Well, thank God. Truly Grace.
Yes.
Okay.
Truly Grace is fine. She is so cute and bebopping around. She was so happy at her party, at her princess party. And she talked about her little crown on her head. And she just was so happy. But I cannot imagine how much she was poked and prodded. I mean, I cannot imagine how many needles she had to deal with. Because Cody said that she was screaming at one point.
Yeah, I bet.
I mean, she was already in pain and then having all these needles, and then poor Christine just sitting there day after day after day.
Yeah.
Oh, how horrible. Truly horrible.
All right.
That was a crisis. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know where.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. Okay, well,
wrap it up.
Thank you for joining us on this journey.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm just so mad at Cody right now. I'm distracted by
your anger.
My anger. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to the podcast and support us by giving us a 5-star rating and review. That would really help us grow the podcast. And you can find us on social media at Psych Legal Pop on Instagram and TikTok. And Tuesdays are always Sister Wives Rewind. And then Thursdays we do documentaries or other shows that are not Sister Wives. So please join us. We look forward to hearing from you.
Yes.
Seeing you.
Yeah, we don't give out our email anymore. So we're not getting too many messages. I've noticed that. We do get some on Instagram for sure. Yeah.
We do have an email. It's psychlegalpoppodcast@gmail.com. Feel free to reach out there as well.
Yeah. Let us know if you have any. People have been, giving us information and suggesting things and all that good stuff. So, and we do read everything and look at everything.
Yeah,
so
we'd love to hear from listeners.
All right.
Thank you. See you soon. Bye.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.